Good. So yeah, I mean, this is the latest little thing that I've got going on. Well, this is a rail hinge to go on the NFT.
Wow.
I literally put the finishing touches. No, not finishing touches. It's nowhere near finished. But I put this together yesterday. I had a prototype front rail support,
Yeah.
which actually does work very well, just in MDF. And I started playing with the hinge idea yesterday as well. I've got the bench dogs hinge here, which is very nice.
So that's the one that's fitted at the moment?
That's the one that's fitted at the minute, yeah. It is very, the shipping, this is a late pre-production sample. The shipping hinge, which is lovely. The shipping hinge will be anodised and all nice and lovely. And obviously there's a front rail support somewhere as well.
What's the play like on this? Is there much wiggle?
No, very little.
Rock solid, cool.
Pretty rock
Nice.
solid.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of wiggle room if you loosen off the bolts, and some of these are slotted, I believe, to give you a little bit of lateral play, just in case the squares the row holes aren't perfectly aligned.
Yeah.
But no, it's good. It's a nice system. It's the only one that'll work just on a top, so it doesn't need extrusion.
Right.
So it connects to another pair of holes that you have to drill in. So it's a solid little system, and British made, a decent price. When I get the actual production sample, I'll do a proper comparison between this one, the festival hinge, and the dashboard one, which I've got as well. It's hard to believe until the bench dogs hinge came along. There were only 2 guardrail hinges that you could buy.
That is surprising.
It's just astounding, really. So I guess it's either a very small market or it really is more
How do they
complicated to do.
compare price-wise?
The festival one, astonishingly, is the least costly.
Really?
Yeah. Festival one is, unless you buy it with an NFT, of course. Festival one is about £110. You can buy it as a spare part.
Yeah.
It's a bit, pressed steel, not the
Not the most premium of...
premium of things. And the front and rear supports about £110 or so. The dashboard one.
So this is the one that you really got excited about, didn't you?
Yeah, it's a lovely hinge, beautifully made. Unfortunately, this is made in the US by Dashboard PWS. Portable.
It's aluminium then?
Yeah, it's all aluminium.
It's chunky, isn't it?
It is, nice and solid. But because it's made in the US, to get it shipped over here, we get hit for import duties as well. And it costs me £287, something like that.
Right.
More than half the total cost of my workshop NFT build came from that, which is quite a lot. And then the bench dog hinge is 180, including that. Again, nice and solid and chunky. The hinge itself is already fitted there.
So you just drilled in the additional holes?
Yeah, it is an extra cost template.
Okay.
Just to drill those in. I did the hinge one with a template, and I did these 2 by eye, just off a guardrail.
Yeah.
So it is doable. The template's another 36 quid.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I think that's going to be slightly contentious for bench dogs, but we'll see. Not everybody's as cheap as us. Some of them are cheaper. But what's really impressive with this, I'm not sure where you get to use it. You've got amazing amount of height on the rail, almost 100 mil.
Yeah.
4 inches, which is
Wow.
twice as much as French Scotsman cuts.
I was going to say,
Yours
yeah.
really deep trenching cuts in really thick material. This is the.
I do like that knurled knob though.
They are absolutely glorious, aren't they?
Reminds me of an old school hi-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
It's obviously the benefit of bench dogs, of course, machining their own stuff is that you don't get off the peg.
Yeah.
Little plastic knobs. You can get these nice.
Have you met Ralph before?
I met him once very briefly at Maker Central last time I was there.
Yeah.
So I look forward to catching up with him again.
Is he going to be there this
He's
year?
going to be there this year. He's got a double wide stand this year, and so is me. I've got two of those. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it should be a good fun thing. But yes, this hinge is a bit of fun. It's kind of chunky and clunky because I'm doing it in wood, not metal. If you're doing it in metal, this could be thinner.
Yeah.
These have to be this size because I want to get a couple of screws in there to make it secured.
Is that going to go into the extrusion?
Yeah. And I haven't got a stop in here. Typical. It's a really slick, polished presentation. So that will just locate. There's a little peg in there.
Is that a dowel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The idea behind the dowel is that will wear over time, but it's a really easy
Things to
replacement.
replace, yeah. Yeah.
Or just turn it around with a pair of pliers or something.
Yeah.
And there'll be a plywood version of that in there. And what I want to do with this, well, the commercial hinges are great.
Yeah.
They're a decent chunk of money, but if you want a hinge, that's what you need. But they're all designed for more mobile benches where you can get around the other side easily.
Yeah.
The problem that I've got is that it's really hard to access that fix the height or anything, and that's one of the main reasons why I had it on my original MFT. I had the rail set to 18mm
Yeah.
almost constantly, and then I just use a spoiler board to pack out if I was cutting 12mm or 6mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I want to do with this, because that will obviously go that way around, I'm actually going to have the height adjustable from this side using little pegs, a little bit like the clever spins in
Yeah.
and just have predetermined heights, so 18, 25.
So you can just set it.
Yeah, so you can set it from this side, and this will actually have a cover on it, so it'll be mostly, I'll have a locking thing on it as well, but it'll mostly be a friction bit.
Nice.
That's the plan anyway. But again, much like I was saying about the squares, it's not something that I can really offer as a kit,
Yeah.
or certainly not a finished article. I might sell plans in it.
Yeah.
But there are too many little bits, too many moving parts to make for it to make sense as a commercial venture. But as a bit of fun, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Is this going to be an upcoming video?
Yeah, we'll have a video on this. Again, I'm trying not to make it's all been very NFT and hinge heavy, which whilst they're popular, I don't just want to do more than that. So yes, this will be a video in due course, but I need to get another few out of the way before we get to it. But yeah, I'm very pleased with the initial prototype in birch ply. Obviously, you need to work this sort of thing out.
Yes.
And I'm much better at working things out by doing them than I am at drawing them out.
Same here. I'm not very good at things that move and mechanical things.
Yeah, same.
Same.
Same with that little hinge. The just two little bits that move, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they've all got to align perfectly. And this moves as well, so that's 7, 8, and then 9, 10, and it's like, so many little bits and pieces that need to be.
That's why I like furniture, because essentially, you can be a bit more creative with it and redesign things if they look off or whatever. Yeah, brilliant. So, are these shaped with a template?
It was basically it was the very first version of my Tony Workshop, the 10 Plus, which I've sort of the shape just kind of fitted. It's just to have somewhere to put the knobs, basically, to keep them out of the way, and the central piece is as wide as that because I wanted the whole rail to be supported. So it's the full, and because it's only wood, and I want the full rail width. Basically, that sort of little bit like fitted furniture that dictates the dimensions of it, and then that's just it's just a nice a nice shape.
It is
Nice couple of
pleasing,
curves that I
yeah.
drew, very pleasing. A little bit like Buzz Lightyear.
So, did you 3D model the design of this, or did you?
I'm strictly a 2D drawing. No, I do it in 2D on a computer, but I'm not a 3D modeler. I'm afraid it leaves me a little, even prototype written.
Nice.
Forgot about that. It leaves me a little bit cold and a little bit baffled. The whole 3D modeling thing. Clearly, it's holding me back.
Well,
It was, it's one of those things that came up a lot when I was working. I may have done,
what clients
may have done a
sort of
video
asking,
about it.
can I see a visual?
No, that was the thing. A lot of makers said, "Oh, you should do that. You should model it in 3D. You can get right in on the detail of how a join is going to work." And you think, what joints do you think I'm making that I don't know how they're going to work? Or if I do need to try it, then doing it on a 3D model ain't going to help me. I'd rather get a couple of bits of wood and a couple of bits of scrap MDF and put them together how they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And see if I can make it work, because 3D modelling will only ever go so far. So I was reasonably proficient at SketchUp for a while, and then I started getting, I got to the point where I was spending as long probably on the SketchUp drawings as I was making the actual items. And for what?
Yeah.
My clients didn't care.
Yeah.
Who was I doing it for? I wasn't really getting anything out of it other than getting mildly more proficient at SketchUp. So I had one of those little epiphanies, and I just started doing 2D line drawings, which people can understand
Yeah.
easily enough. And if they don't, then I can explain it to them.
What software do you use for the 2D?
I use a OS 10 and iOS app called Graphic.
Right.
It was called iDraw originally. It's not really the right thing for the job. It's more of a vector illustration program.
Yeah.
But I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And I'm disinclined to learn anything new. Let's put it that way.
Sounds like me with editing software.
Yeah, sure. Well, this is the trouble, that the muscle memory is strong, isn't it? And
It is, yeah, it really is.
yeah, I do prefer to keep it simple.
If I could wean myself off Vegas, I would have done that a long time ago.
Yeah, I understand. I don't understand Vegas, but I understand the appeal of sticking to the things you know.
So, that tool over there to the left of the domino is the Lamello.
That's the Zeta, yep.
Have you got the bigger domino?
No, I don't. I've just, sorry Keith, I've only got the, I'm feeling deprived now. I've only got the 700. So that's your Lamello.
Oh my god, this is a serious machine, isn't
Yeah.
it? Wow. That's really impressive. What is this part on top for?
You never
I've watched videos about them before, but my memory is pretty shockingly bad.
It's I'm not sure what it does exactly, but it goes ding. Basically when you
Oh, it
reach a
kicks
certain,
out like a
certain depth of the plunge, it does a little uppy downy step, and
It's heavy, isn't it?
It is. It's a chunky, hewn from the solid thing. Not on my shilling anyway.
No.
So there's no registration pins or paddles or anything.
How do I do this then?
You just
Just
line it up.
On and plunge?
Yep, basically line it up where you want.
I was expecting more of a kick, but it's quite smooth, really, isn't
it's
it?
quite well damped. And somewhat.
That's an incredible machine.
connectors that just fit into there.
So these are the ones
So-
that can be knocked down, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it just basically, because the blade does a little uppy downy jump, it carves a curved T-slot
Wow.
and they just slide in. It's
Sounds
very,
like-
very clever.
Yeah.
I don't like these connectors personally.
Is there different connectors?
Yeah, you can get they're tensos, which are just snap together ones.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It's pretty strong. 7 kilos of pressure, they say.
Wow. Yeah, there's no pulling that apart. How do you get them apart if you want to?
That's it now. Yeah. £1.40 that is. And then there's these ones, which are Climax, which go in the same way. You need to actually drill a hole, which you wouldn't do. But you've got a little
Oh, I see.
piece that comes out
Hmm.
and pulls the two halves very tightly together.
Bit of an upgrade on IKEA flat pack
A
furniture.
little bit, yeah, a little bit.